There are 3 game-changing tips from guitarists such as John Mayer, John Frusciante, even Slash that you need to know how to use because it's what sets them apart from you. If I were to ask you the number one reason why you can remember solos, what would it be? The answer many people are coming to, whether they understand it or not, is that their solos sound lyrical. Because in music, something that's lyrical and annotatable by your voice and brain super easily is 1, easy to attach emotion to, 2, easy to remember, and 3, you can participate in it. When your solo is lyrical like this, it has that lyrical quality because its rhythm is clappable, and obviously you can annotate your own words to it with the kind of easy pitch movements. But having that static pitch movement is not the number one key to solos. The rhythmic part is what's important for lyricism, but there's something we can do with pitch that you need to know how to do intentionally to make your solo stand out because you're doing it right now the incorrect way. If you want to start playing the correct notes, you need to understand what interval distances are. When something is just a step like this, very, very stable, easy to go across. Same thing when we get into thirds, and even fourth. And the perfect fifth is where we get into this gray area where it starts getting very, very jumpy. And this is fantastic when you need to grab emotion for emphasis, because when you go from this, it immediately sticks out like a sore thumb. Even though it's not the most lyrical, it is perfect for getting attention, which is memorable because it has to be remembered, grab their attention, annotatable, bang. Now it is memorable. So use these distances like a perfect fifth, major and minor sixes, and then get to the sevenths, octaves, eighths, and even high. And anything with that very long step distance is going to give that attention quality. So I'm going to give you an example with the lyrical quality along with that jumping quality at a good time to make more emphasis compared to something that is just kind of average and dull. In that example, I use that jumpiness to go in between a couple different phrase types to bring contrast and emphasis between the two, and that is, I think, the most smooth way to use it. And of course, there's many other ways as you experiment. But since you can hear the difference, there's one more key trick of the 3 that is something that is a little harder to hear, but you feel it in your hands. When you're getting really emotional on guitar or just playing really hard like this, subconsciously, you tend to really jam your fingers into the fretboard, which doesn't necessarily make a worse sound, but if we're stuck here, it's kind of hard to dance around, which is very important for a solo. So you have to remember to keep your fingers light. It won't make it more or less emotional, but it will make it 4 times easier to play if you're not hard stuck on the fretboard, and instead you're loose. You're going to get less volume out of the strings because you're not playing it as hard. However, you don't really want all your volume to come from playing hard. It's kind of the point of an amp. So when you pair lyricism with correctly timed jumps and melody, and then also being aware of how hard you're pressing on the fretboard to make sure you're playing at a great speed and have a nice feathery touch, is going to make you at a much higher level of a guitar player. And you can watch my other videos to learn guitar faster and better than anywhere else on the internet.